down. Okay, we are back live, 2013 Arica Chilean Challenge. Eric Apple joined by Winnie, Dave Winchester, one of the best in the world, and that fact certainly becomes more true when you're talking about surfing El Gringo because, man, you've done so well here as we see our rider in yellow, Uri Baladao.
Yeah, Yuri's actually shown some really strong performances out at Gringo on these rights. He's always going big, doing big rolls, big flips, so hopefully that one there was a little bit washy, but still an all right starter. Oh, Dallas, here we go. Big pit, nice deep barrel, and he's going to want something on the end, but still went into the channel there.
Great to make it out for Dallas Singer. And Winnie, Toby Reed has a question for you. He's asking, are there any secret spots in the Byron Bay region? And do you try to get sessions into places where nobody's out, or do you mind surfing with the crowd?
Yeah, Toby, I don't really like the crowd, so yeah, try to stick away from him. He goes Dallas.
Through the replay,
look
driving.
Deep little pit there.
Leaning, and look how far forward he's leaning his head's leading his board.
Yeah. So that'll be an all right start for Dallas. But yeah, back to that question, Toby. And yeah, definitely say, oh, here we go. Live action. Benny Player. Look at that. That tube style is just amazing, isn't it? Look at it. He's just like doing nothing. He's just sitting there. It's so easy for him, and he punches through that into the channel. So
now that's the first time. I mean, even though it was kind of smaller on the inside, but I've seen a lot of riders, and I asked about this earlier, and maybe you can comment on this, Winnie, is a lot of times riders will be able to pop through that lip. You know, the curtain will come down, and guys can kind of straighten out and push through that lip and come out of the barrel. And it seems to happen much less often here at Arica. Why is that?
Yeah, just because that reef is so irregular on the end and so heavy, it's really hard to punch through those lips. So just sort of, yeah, you got to know sort of what the wave's doing. It's pretty tough, but
looks like on the left, Alan Espinoza
from Chile. So yeah, back to that question for Toby. Yeah, there are a few secret spots. I guess there's a lot of beach breaks around the Byron area, so once you find a good bank, you go searching and you find your own kind of little bank, then I guess a so-called secret spot, you just got to search a lot. So yeah, good luck, Alan. And I'll see you around there soon.
And Riley has a question for you, Winnie. Will you be competing in this year's Shark Island Challenge?
Yes, I will be, Riley. Last year I missed it due to being in France, so it was pretty hard to get a flight back in time for it. So I'd won it the year before that in 2010, so I'm really excited to get back to the island. Haven't surfed in a while, so here's this replay, Benny Player. Look at that, he just scoops in there so nicely. Rides it really high.
It's just a less is more theory with Ben, isn't it?
Look at that, he's just sort of, doesn't even look like he's doing anything. Yeah. He's just cruising through that pit. And there's nice riding there from Benny. Oh, Dallas again. Look at this. He loves these lefts. He's going to chuck a spin in under the left. Oh!
Might have been a bad call there at the last minute.
That was a big, that was pretty intense, that one. So it was really, really shallow, and I could see him going low down into the bottom.
In red, look at this.
So,
forward 360 in the barrel.
Must have thrown that in there.
Oh, and right in front of Dallas, kind of adding insult to injury, saying that's how you do a forward 360 in the barrel. And it's funny because you know there's no way that Ben Player knew what Dallas had done on the wave earlier, but what a coincidence that Dallas rides a barrel, throws a forward 360, and doesn't come out, but then turns around and sees Ben Player do it in his face.
Yuri could have got something big here maybe on this ride. Look at this big section.
Yeah,
whoa.
Look at this.
Big, big backflip. No, look at that landing. Yeah, I was going to say, if he landed that, that would have been a huge score. He got so flung then.
I hope he gets some points for that because that was insane. And in the blue, taking off, this is Alan Espinoza. Look at this barrel.
Oh, he's stolen up. He's got the GoPro on there.
And Alan looks like one of the smaller riders.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, I've seen him get a couple of good ones out here. He's from Chile, and he must know the wave kind of well. So, but yeah, as we saw that last one of Dallas, he got in that nice barrel, and I could just see him going down into the flats. So here's a local rider into this one. He stalls under the lip.
Yeah, trying to hold that rail.
Wasn't really a long barrel, so he's just trying to stall it up in there, trying to maximize the points.
Hey, Shan Martin wants to know, when will we be coming back to the Coolangatta BSC store again?
BSC store. We'll kind of get in there pretty often because it's only like half an hour away from where I live. So we're over here for a few weeks, and we've got a couple of other comps coming up, so not for a month or so, but yeah, we'll get back in there for another promo soon, I'm sure. As we see this heat, we knew it was going to be a cracker, and Dallas Singer out in front on 12.33, and Benny Player equals second, or equal first, should I say, on 12.33 also. Yuri Valadao from Brazil on 8.13, and Alan from Chile on a 5.53. So still 23 minutes to go. The guy's got heaps of time, but
yeah, and so many waves coming through. It's starting to get pretty consistent with these sets. And look at this in yellow.
Yuri Valadao, he loves these rights, and I love watching him. That big backflip before was incredible.
Huge.
That was
absolutely huge.
There's a big section, and
Ben Player taking a look at that left.
Ooh, must have been a long one. Yeah, it was. Look at that. Good choice, Benny. You wouldn't have made that thing. Benny loves getting busy in heats. You see him here. He's just looked at that left. Now he's going to go for this right. So it's a little bit foamy, though. He's kind of stalling up on the takeoff now. This is where he's going to race because this section will come in. Ooh, it's getting thick. Oh. Benny, nice forward air. But yeah, he's just kind of getting stuck because the wave was foamy. He didn't have heaps of speed.
Yeah, I was going to say the forward air, it just looked a little bit different than the normal forward air 360 that you've seen. The way he projected off the lip, it just looked odd to me. But I think it was just a mistake brought on by the foam, and he couldn't really see the lip.
Yeah, he kind of he didn't have maximum speed, so he's kind of forcing it a little bit. So it was still pretty amazing move. But yeah, as I said, just that foamy wave, it's going to be tough move to do.
Okay, we have Yo-Yo, our beach commentator, down on the rocks with our winner from heat number 4, the Hawaiian, Jacob Romero.
And here we are with the winner of the last heat from the Hawaiian Army, Mr. Jacob Romero. Jacob, tell us about this.
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked to win my first heat and advance to round 3.
Jacob, you got a big movement on the right. You can tell us about this wave?
Well, I came here like a week ago, and I feel really comfortable on the right, so I just took the drop, and I seen the section coming, and I already knew what to do, so I did the invert, and I got rewarded. Stoked.
I see you hang out a lot with the locals. There's some tricks that they tell you about to choose these good waves on the heat?
Not really. This is my first time staying with the locals, and it's been real nice, and I get to see their culture, eat their foods, and they didn't really tell me about the waves. It's just about the good times and enjoying the local people.
Would you like to send some hello to home or someone?
Yeah, I just wanted to say hi to my family, my mom, my dad, my brothers, my girlfriend, and my friends, all you guys back in Hawaii. Aloha. Yeah.
Congratulations, Jacob.
Thank you.
Thanks, you guys. I'm back to you guys. See you soon.
Yo-Yo on the beach with the Hawaiian, Jacob Romero, who, like I said, he's genuinely pleased, and he's got to have a big boost of confidence there by winning that heat with guys like Jeff Hubbard and Brahim Idouche. And I have a question for you from Tom. Tom's a big fan and wants to know when you're coming back to France. And what do you think is the best spot you've ever surfed in France?
Yeah, I'm not sure when I'm coming back to France. I mean, we were there for 8 months last year and I absolutely loved the place. I'd have to say that Hossio was probably, like Le Gravier was the best waves we got there. And yeah, I'll be dropping a podcast very soon from all those times that I surfed over there. So hopefully it's been good for you, mate. There we see the heat hasn't changed too much. A couple of moves not made from Ben Player and Yuri Valadao, so hasn't really changed the situation much. Dallas Singer still in front on 12.33. Ben Player up there with him on 12.33 as well, and Yuri Valadao in third. He needs a 7.33 to jump into second, so I mean he would have got that on that big right-hander before, and I'm sure he's going to go wild for us. As I said before, you can see the lulls in between the sets, and they just sort of, Dallas knows this wave pretty well, so he's just going to be sitting out there. He's been coming here for a lot of years, so he knows what wave he wants, and he's got 20 minutes to choose it. So yeah. Right now in his position, he's got a 6.38 and a 5.95, so he knows that he needs a better wave than the 5.95, so he's just being really picky. You don't want to catch a little one because you're not going to get that score.
Well, While we have a little lull in the serve, let's take a look at Alex Aranga and a little GoPro spot check with him.
Here in Arica, I enjoy a lot because the wave is one of the best in the world. You have a lot of things to do here. It's a small city. This is amazing wave. It's really long, really heavy, and when the swell hit it from different sides, you can get a bit longer wave or a smaller but better ball. Sometimes you didn't know if it's going to open really clean, and you drop it and didn't stop for anything and go inside and just trashing you, and that you are going to make it and go fast, and then when you go out you feel like, oh, that's a good barrel. This is Arica's barrel. This is one of the biggest comp of all the event, and I know that everyone is really hungry to win there. You have to trashing yourself all the time, trashing the wave, not be scared of the rocks, and go hard.
Well, we are back live here, the 2013 Arica Chilean Challenge.
So we
Checking
see
out our
Yuri.
rider in yellow paddling. Yuri taking a peek.
So still no one's really locked a really high score into the excellent range. We've had a few sixes and things like that, but obviously from these guys we're gonna see something big, and we're just waiting for it now. So halfway through this heat now, and we see the two Aussies still out in front, and the Brazilian Yuri's, he's not going to end up on 8.13. We're going to see him do something big, and same with the local guy. Here we go. What's he got?
They say Alan Espinoza has as much local knowledge as anybody here at this wave. And man, he's a tiny, tiny rider, and when you're that small, you're able to get projection like that and throw those ARSs on the inside.
Yeah, it was a nice clean RS. It was a really tough landing there. He still landed really heavy, and it was on the end bit of the wave. Like, I think that I heard guys calling it the turtle or something like that, those little rocks on the inside. But they're kind of bigger than a turtle. So here's the replay. It's still a little wedgy one. His bottom turns, comes around nice. He hits it really, really clean here, just out of the bowl into an ARS. And
I mean, the timing couldn't be perfect.
Yeah,
couldn't be more perfect.
Yeah, it was really good timing. And as I said, those rocks on the inside there, sort of gurgling out. It's pretty hard to make those moves. See a couple of big heats coming up. There's one to definitely stick around for us at Heat 7.
Okay, well, Winnie, Sasha Specker's going to jump in for me for a heat or so and hang out with you for the next 30 minutes, and I'll be back.
Yeah, too easy, mate.
So we've got two of the best in the world on the mics. Eric Apple's out. I'll be right back.
It's got a little bit of lull in the action. It's interesting to see Yuri's tactics in this. He hasn't gone left once in this heat. He's just been sticking to those rights. And maybe he watched Jacob and Jeff in that last heat. Jacob got his scores on the rights. So maybe they're just sussing those out. And here he goes. Is he looking at this left? Is anyone? Benny P stroking into it. And you look at him pulling. Ooh, he has to pull through that one. You see another big one coming back out there, out the back there. So, oh, look at that. It's getting bigger. It's getting bigger. That one sort of looked a good 6 foot, maybe 8 foot. So should see some bigger stuff for the Savo. But yeah, Benny Play just couldn't get a better score on that one. Just had to pull through, and Dallas has just been really, really picky still out there. He must have priority right now, Dal, and as I said before, this swell those big ones come through, and then there's lulls. So that's why we're seeing the riders just sit out there and really choosing their waves. And we've got Sasha Specker here, who me and Sasha were in the first heat this morning, and we advanced, so we're pretty stoked. Pretty stoked to get the monkey off the back here in Arica. And the water actually this year is a little bit warmer, I'd say, than the last couple. So everyone was saying it's so cold. It's going to be really, really cold. And I was like, oh no, here we go. And ice cream headaches when you duck dive. But it's actually quite pleasant in a 3-2 this year. So I'm pretty excited about that. Yeah, it must be. The rubber's getting better, that's for sure. There we see the priority system. So if you're in the white Rashi, Dallas Singer, you have priority. And Yuri Valadea, you have second priority in the yellow. And the blue and the red are third and fourth. So they're the boxes you got to look in for and listen on the mic for what priority you are. We should have a bit of action here. Look at this little one coming in. A few of them scratching around a little bit. Here we go, Dallas. He's looking at this and he has priority, as I said before. Nice takeoff. This one looks sick, doesn't it? Nice big barrel there, and he comes over the shocky there, and he's stalling up. He wants something on the end here.
How's the control on that when you came out?
Oh, he just wanted a roll or a spin or something, and just wasn't offering him it.
I think it's a bit intimidating, that end section. I mean, for me, I get so uncomfortable when I'm coming out of the barrel and I can see the water draining off the rocks. It's definitely not an easy way to hit the end section.
Yeah. Dallas there, he got pretty deep on this. He had to jump over a little bit of a shocky, so I just see him come out here and he's just stalling it up. He wanted just a nice little roll or something off that just to end the wave, but yeah, no one's really comfortable on that end bowl. I don't think GT's comfortable there. Yeah. He loves the rocks. I don't know what it is. But it's interesting because GT, we're telling him about the Ayrton Senna. Here's Dallas's replay again. You'll see him just come over this shocky just about there. He pops over the foam. So he's pretty deep, and he's got to beat a 5.95, and he has with a 6.5. So Dallas extending his lead now. Yeah, but as I was saying, we're talking to GT about Ayrton Senna, the documentary. Have you seen that, Spexy?
I haven't. I need to get onto that.
The Formula One. It's one of the most amazing documentaries I've ever seen. And we're talking to GT because he's Brazilian and Ayrton was Brazilian, and he was saying he didn't want to watch it before this comp because it's such a sad ending, and it is a really sad thing, but yeah, so that's why GT didn't want it, because he wants to go feral out there. He wants to get really busy and crazy on those rocks, I think.
Yeah. Just right, we've got a little bit of a break in the action here. I mean, you were mentioning GT and the rocks. I mean, do you remember when he was doing those rolls over the rocks? And that is Dave Winchester over there and myself, Sasha Speck. I'm just standing in here for Eric Apple, just giving him a break. He's had a long road to get you, and he just wants to get out of the tower and have a little breather. Maybe interact with some of the fans on the beach. It's a packed atmosphere down here at the beach.
Yeah, the crowd. I mean, we've seen it before every year. They really get behind this competition, get down there, and it's just so good to see so much passion from all the locals. And yeah, I mean, this heat isn't disappointing us. These guys are ripping again. Absolutely.
I mean, the swell has picked up. Our first heat was a little bit slow.
Yeah.
And I saw that last heat. I think Jacob Romero had some pretty crazy ramps.
Yeah.
And some good scores. And I mean, everyone's been ripping. I didn't see anyone who's really had a shocker out here today.
Yeah,
so it's been awesome to see. And with the building swell, I don't think there's going to be a shortage of that. So stay tuned, and there's going to be plenty more action to come.
Heat 7's a cracker. Have you seen this one? Heat 7 coming up.
Here we go. Pierre-Louis Costes, Alan Munoz, Ryan Hardy, and Jake Stone.
Yuri on a deep and heavy left there. That's the first left I've seen Yuri catch this heat. And gosh, wasn't it a heavy one?
You can see the water just boiling off the reef there. And I wonder, almost every time I pull into a closeout here, I kind of touch the reef, at least, at the bottom. My foot or something, I have to push off or something. So, I mean, some of those are so heavy, surely the guys are hitting the bottom.
Yeah, he had to have been close because he's super deep on that takeoff, and you saw it run, but he needs a 7.33, so he knew he needed a high score, so he took off really deep on that one, but it was just that second section went too fast for him, and yeah, he would have probably had a little bounce on there. I'm sure he would have felt its presence. That's for sure. You
Yep.
usually do.
Definitely. I think you mentioned, there was a second section to that left, and I think the swell that's come through now, I mean, I'm definitely not very experienced out here compared to some of these guys, but it looks like it's coming out of the west a little bit more.
Yeah.
Making it a little bit more tricky to find a really good left.
Yeah, I totally agree. It seemed this morning in that heat that we're definitely where I usually line up. I felt I was sitting more side to the channel on the left if you wanted those lefts. So yeah. Oh, there's Lockie Cramsey, the winner of the trials. He's got a new nickname, Lizama.
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 Nice hairstyle.
Yeah.
He's going for it.
Look at him.
He's been ripping. I mean, Lockie is. Didn't he also win the South Coast trials in Australia?
Yeah. So he'd definitely be winning the qualifying tour, and
he's looking good for a 2014.
Yeah,
GSS.
He's young and he's confident in his surfing, and I mean, you'll see him in this next heat. He goes out there and he doesn't care who he's up against. He's up against Mike Stewart, the legend of the sport, a 50-year-old legend, and yeah, he's not. That's not going to be in his mind. There he is. Look at him. He turned 50 the other day, and he's pretty stoked to share a little piece of cake with Mike. Just he's been the biggest inspiration to pretty much every bodyboarder out there, and he's actually telling me the other day, he's in the water saying, I want to be the first 50-year-old to do an ARS, and I was like, do you reckon anyone else done one? He's like, surely someone else over 50's done an ARS or a flip, and I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm not sure
someone
either.
send us in something like on Facebook or something if you've got proof of a over 50-year-old doing an ARS. Otherwise, Mike could be the first today.
Yeah, I'm sure he's got plenty of ARSs up his sleeve.
Definitely.
And maybe these waves would be a little bit tricky. He's going to have to look for a good open face section, or for closeout could be kind of full on.
Yeah. I think he's going to stick to the barrel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I saw him taking to the air the other day. He was doing some nice lofty inverts. And,
yeah.
His style never falling short of pretty much amazing.
Yeah,
So
there we go. The girls were checking out Lizama when he was running down there. Lockie Cramsey. As you can see, there's a few people strolling on down, waking up and coming to check out the live action and the Chilean Arica Pro.
You can see the water photographers just finding their little spot in the lineup. We've got Igor Sanchez, who's covering the video angle for us, and Pablo Jimenez, one of the local boys out here. He's taking the photos for us. It's awesome to see them, covering the angles, having that view for you guys in the highlight clips. You get some nice water shots to show you how intense and crazy some of the waves are that these guys are riding. And it looks like Charlie Chaplet was the other guy there, and he's getting a GoPro angle for us, so I'm sure you'll see some of his clips too. So the boys are just out there keeping busy and just staying involved,
See Ed Luciano there shaking Lockie's hand before the heat, a bit of good sportsmanship. So, yeah, it's going to be a great heat. One Brazilian, one Aussie, one Hawaiian. And who's the other trialist?
Who's in blue there? That looks like Roberto Bruno in blue.
Oh, he is. Another Brazilian. So, yeah, Roberto Cruz threw that, didn't he? Through those trials. He's surfing really, really well and ended up getting fourth in the final, but we should see some good stuff coming from him.
He's a really strong competitor out here. And the boys are having a look at that.
Couple of paddles there, but I don't know if he was in position for priority. I think Ben and Dallas are ahead of that, and they just let that one go.
Ben seems to have been quite patient. He hasn't been paddling for anything unnecessarily. Here he goes. He likes the look of this.
Big scoop into a big hole, and you just see that spit. Oh, he pushes out the front. So he'd be pretty stoked with that.
And he was pretty lucky how it pushed him out. That could have gone either way. If it had landed on him, it could have buried him quite easily. So good on Ben coming out of that, and he's definitely going to improve his situation there. He needs to improve a 6.13. So I reckon he'll get. That was a pretty big.
Yeah, he needs a 6.68 actually to go into second. Here's a replay. Big takeoff, nice scoop, deep in the pit there, and big blowout. Oh, and then we just see him, and he just gets out of there. I think the judges will like that because it was a little bit of surprise factor. So
yeah, that's it. Hey, you want to give a bit of a wow factor.
Yeah, you don't want to make it look too easy, And Benny here over that shocky, big blowout, and just out the doggy door, we like to call it.
He was lucky there. That was some good some good negotiating through that barrel.
I'd say that will definitely fall into his top two. I mean, his other waves, he got cleaner sort of barrels, but not as big and chunky and heavy as that thing. So
he only needed to replace a 6.13, which is his low score. So I'm pretty sure he'll get that. And Yeah, welcome to the GoPro IBA Chilean Challenge. This is the 10th anniversary of this event.
Yeah,
which
it's
is
pretty crazy. Hardy's been coming here for 10 years.
Wow. So he would have some good stories to tell out of the things he's experienced here and the waves he's seen and caught. So it must be quite a trip for someone who's been here since the beginning.
I know. The first year he came here, there was a local contest. It wasn't a World Tour contest, and the rights were massive.
Wow.
Like 15-foot rights, and Hardy won it there, and that was the sort of, he knew what this wave could do, lefts and rights, and so they've built this contest up more and more, and we're just so glad to be here. And Benny Player locking in 7.08, best wave of the heat so far, so he's jumped into first.
He's in a good position right now with a total score of 13.28. Although Dallas is sitting with a pair of sixes, he actually has a 6.38 as his low score, which is better than Ben's, and they're in a pretty similar situation. Yuri and Alan, they both have a bit of work to do.
Yeah, they do, but in Yuri he needs a 7.88, and Yuri, if he goes to the air on this right, he's going to get it.
Yep.
Oh, there's local boys. He's stalling on that foam ball, and what's he got? A nice clean roll out. That's a nice little scorer for him. That's probably his best wave of his campaign. So if he gets back out there, there's still 3 minutes to go. He might have time to get another one, because I say you get a mid-range score for that one, and then he's definitely in contention now. So.
Absolutely. Yuri's going to have to up his game and just make sure he gets that last score. Here you go. He actually negotiated pretty well through that little section, dropping down into the foam ball and then powering through the roof. That was a nice execution on that roll. He looks pretty young. How old is that?
Yeah, I'm not too sure, but he's just dropped a 5.43, actually gone into third, and now needs a 7.45 with 2.5 minutes on the clock. But yeah, Yuri will be kicking himself if he doesn't get a good one now. Did you see that big backflip he did before on that right-hander?
I did not. I missed that.
Oh my gosh, this thing was massive. The biggest air done today, and he landed backwards in the flats, and he didn't make it. I mean, it was a really, really tough landing, and he would just be a little bit disappointed if he doesn't get the chance to get a 7.88 in this last 2 minutes.
And Yuri's so capable of doing something like that, like you said, what he attempted earlier. If he just gets an average-looking wave, he can definitely turn it into a good score, taking to the air. Yeah,
he wants to attack these rights, I'm pretty sure. That's been his game plan from the start. And
all right. Well, it's probably a good game plan out here. They have an excellent scoring potential. And he should be in a pretty good priority position here. He might be first or second up.
Yeah, with a minute and a half left. Who is anyone looking at this this looks like a peak, and looks like Dallas is looking at this one, trying to increase his second. Oh, he's late under that lip. He's stalling it up. What's this got on the end for him? Oh, nice clean roll. And he's in that foam ball. He just got eaten.
Fighting it. There, he just getting
dragged. He'd be on the rocks right now.
He's dragged over the reef. You'll probably see him. You might have to deal with another one on the head here on his way out.
But, is there time for Yuri in yellow?
1 minute remaining. And,
where is he?
I wonder if he went on the right of this wave. He might have. He might have been far enough over to get something worthwhile. And I don't know if we can get a replay or another angle of that. I hope the guys had that covered for us. We'll just see what they can find.
He definitely caught a wave then. We saw the yellow paddling back out, but we don't know what happens. So we're seeing what you guys are seeing.
And unfortunately,
but I mean, he'd be scratching around for something with only 50 seconds to go, 30 seconds to go now. So
yeah, he's in a desperate situation. Unless he did get a score, we'll see now. Here we go.
He did take off on that right, but he was too late and under the lip.
A little bit deep.
Yeah.
And the way
it just gets round it.
It looks like it just fizzled out. He didn't like it.
Nothing. So.
Well, unlucky for Yuri Valadao and Alan Espinoza from Chile. Those two guys look like they're going to be sitting in third and fourth, and they're going to have to fight it out in round two. I mean, no one loses here right now. This is good.
Yeah, so they'll be pretty excited to get back out there for your second heat.